All right. Hey, ladies. Happy Saturday. I am so excited to be here. Y'all, we haven't had a Successful Women in Business live in a while, and I am so excited. We have our winner, Lawana Kelly, author Lawana Kelly of our competition, right? For the holiday business promotion. Well, my name is Coach Kiera. For those who don't know me, I coach women in business. I help them gain clarity and focus to be able to achieve their goals. And today we have Lawana Kelly, and Lawana is going to be talking about her book, Damaged Crowns Still Shine. Lawana was one of my previous coaching clients, and from where she started it to where she is right now is phenomenal. She's out there she's on podcasts, she's out there doing pop-up events. Y'all, this woman is amazing. She has launched her books. It's at Barnes and Noble, on Amazon, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. So, Lawana, can you tell the ladies hi?
Hi, ladies. How y'all doing today?
Yes. So, can you tell us about yourself? Where are you from? A little bit about your family structure?
I am from Detroit, Michigan. Well, first of all, my name is Lawana Kelly. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I am a full-time mother, a full-time wife, and a full-time businesswoman. And, I'm just out sharing my story to help other women all around the world. Hey, let's rebuild and get ourselves back where we need to be, even after trauma.
Yes. So, how did you get started? Like, what made you want to share your story in a book to become an author?
Well, I want to start off first and say that when I was 13 years old, 14 years old, seeing a counselor after I was molested,
Mhm.
um, the lady asked me to write. The psychiatrist asked me to write down what happened on a piece of paper. After I got done, she picked up the paper. She said, "Luana, your story is so powerful. One day you're gonna write a book and help women all around the world." That went over my head. Then the pandemic came. And when the pandemic came, I seen a lot of people writing books. Well, no, the Me Too movement first, and then the pandemic came, and I was like, okay, I seen a lot of other women writing their books. I said, okay, this is the time for me to go ahead and start writing my story. So I got on a road. I started reaching out to people and started making it happen. I did not mind you. I didn't know where to start, so I had people pushing and helping me along the way, and
That's
hired me a coach. Hired me a
yes.
coach.
Yes. And so, can you tell us more about your story, right? And how you began to start healing after going through such a traumatic situation?
Okay, my story is about a 13 and 14-year-old that was traumatized and hurt and abused as a child, but now I'm walking in victory one day and one step at a time as a woman. Um, my story is just basically sharing the ups and downs, the depression, how I had to get through this, not get over, but get through it by myself. I had to it was a bumpy road. It was really a bumpy road. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how it was going to end. I tried to give up. I tried to hurt myself. I just couldn't let them win. So I had to stay here and tell my story.
Yeah, that's good. I've actually been through some situations in my life where I wanted to give up and I didn't want to be here, right? I didn't have support that I thought, right? But I ended up reaching out to a life coach, and I ended up getting some coaching from her. I got two therapists, and I began my healing journey. It wasn't easy for me, right? So
Right.
I was doing a lot of grieving. I had a couple miscarriages. A lot of people don't know about it, and I was grieving really bad, and I really didn't want to be here. But by the grace of God and prayer and friends, I made it through, right? And just like you, I made it through to share my story with the world. So it's important to have a support system. So who is your support system now?
Now it's my husband, my no wait, let me take that back. My faith in the Lord, my husband, and my children. That's my support.
So can you share with us 3 tips to move your life forward after trauma? What are 3 tips you can give the ladies? Or if they're in some kind of toxic or abusive relationship, what are some tips that you can give them to help them heal from that trauma, right? Because trauma, it changes our brains. It changes how we process things, how we think, and how we move forward in other relationships, right? So how can we start to heal? Just give us some tips.
Prayer is one. Speak up and talk about it to someone. Going through the abuse is not good. It's not good. It's not safe, and that's not love. You got to learn to self-love, self-care, and know that you are valuable and know what your worth is. A lot of us women after trauma don't know our worth, and we have to learn our worth and step up and become the women that we designed to be. And you can't have love after trauma. So yeah, so
go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's just like self-love, self-care, prayer, speak up, get some help. Don't stay in that situation. I had lost a cousin. My cousin, she was online, and she, was a baker and was, living her life. Never knew she was in an abusive relationship until she was killed. So, we love you all. We need you all here. Get some help. Talk to someone. Find someone you can trust. And that's what I would tell them. That's a tip. Get you some help and get out the situation, because it's not healthy for yourself or your children.
Yeah. And a lot of times we get trauma bonded to situations, right? Mm-hmm. So there was a situation I was in where I kept going back until God said, enough is enough. You can't keep going back to this abusive situation because something is going to happen to you, right? So God saved my life from being in a traumatic, abusive situation, right? So what would you say to a woman who has been trauma bonded and who has been in, a relationship maybe for years, right? And just don't know how to get out. Like maybe like she's financially, dependent on this man, or they have kids, or, she don't know her self-worth, right? Like how do she move her life forward?
Well, all I could suggest is that find a safe haven. There's not many of them out there that we can trust. A safe haven, a shelter, the police if they will, a church if they will. Talk. It was hard for me to find a safe haven. It's not a safe haven in churches. It's not a safe haven in schools. It's not a safe. Where do you go? It's kind of hard to say really where you go, but try to reach out to someone that you could trust. If that one person don't look trustworthy, talk and find somebody else, but try to find your way out the situation, because it's not good and it's not healthy. I would say go to your pastor, your church, but me, it was prayer and a mindset change, and knew that I didn't want to be hit anymore. I didn't want to be hurt anymore. And I had to know that I was valuable. I was beautiful. I just had to find out who I was, because after my trauma, and seeing my mother go through the abuse, I started thinking that it was okay because it was love. That the man would say, I love you after he beat her. And she'd be nice and start cooking and taking care of him. And I started doing that behavior because it's a pattern. It's almost like a generational curse that your parent went through it, then you go through it. Or if your kids see you go through it, they're going to think it's okay for them to go through it because they think it's love. It's not love. So the best way you can get out of, you can share later, the 1-800 numbers for the help for domestic violence, sexual assault, and things like that. It is 1-800 hotlines out here to help people. Call, get some help, talk to someone that you could trust. And it's kind of hard to talk to family, because family would put you in a situation and you will get hurt even more. So you got to find really someone you can trust.
Wow. I like how you talked about breaking generational cycles, or you said breaking generational curses, right? Because a
Yes.
lot of times, it's that you've watched it growing up, right? You've watched the abuse growing up, and you end up in the same situation.
It's a
And
pattern
so,
passed down the bloodline. Yeah. Like
mm,
sickness, like illness, like me and my children and my husband, we've been having some little financial trouble. I'm being honest.
mm,
And I'm looking like at my mother. She had financial situations. Then
mm,
I got financial situations. And now my children have financial situations. So I told my kids, hey, we got to pray and break this thing because this thing is real. It can attack your finances, your health, your relationships. This generational curse, I'm telling you, it go down the bloodline. And everybody don't know it's about generational curses. So when I seen your video on YouTube the other day, and I was like, wow, that's powerful. And more other women have to speak up about the generational curse because people don't know. But if you look at patterns, what's going on in your life, people that great grandma had cancer, your mom had cancer, you know what I'm saying? The stuff is just passed down generation to generation. Alcoholism, drug abuse. We was talking about I hope I ain't going off the script, but people is dying from alcohol abuse and drug abuse. And me and my husband was speaking today, like, wow, people do that to numb the pain, but they got to understand you can drink, but at the end of that drink, that issue still gonna be there. You can smoke, but at the end of that marijuana or that cigarette, that problem still gonna be there. So we got to start showing people there's other ways to go. And I talked to people that was a alcoholic. A lady used to fall out here, and I used to talk to her, and ask. She said, "Well, I lost I watched my son get killed, and then I was raped. Molested. I'm sorry, not was raped, but molested. And so she say, this numbs my pain."
mm.
So when I tell you, I know I got to speak up more, coach.
Yeah.
And a lot of us got to speak up more about this stuff. This stuff is real, but it's generational. It's generational. This is how my grandmother dealt with pain. So I'm going to drink because this how I know best to deal with pain. Not go to a counselor or see a psychiatrist because people tell us we're crazy. We're not crazy. We just need help.
That is so true. And never be afraid to reach out for help, right? And once you talk about like the generational curses, a lot of the things that I do that are healthy coping mechanisms with some things I've been through is I do a lot of inner child work, a lot of inner healing, right? And it's that inner shadow work that's really going to help you purge all of that out so you can move your life forward. Can you tell us about the inner child work and some of the healthy coping mechanisms that people can utilize to move their lives forward?
Let me tell you, the inner child that hurt you, whatever age that you was hurt, that child got to be healed within you to move forward. How I dealt with it was, hey, that young person that was hurt don't define who I am. That hurt you don't define who you are. So you got to heal that hurt you, that hurt 4-year-old you that wanted mommy when mommy wasn't there, that 10-year-old you that wanted daddy because daddy wasn't there. You got to heal that person in order to persevere, order to move on, or in order to just live your life. Just imagine if I stayed stuck at that 13-year-old hurt me, or that 14-year-old hurt me. What if I stayed stuck? What if I stay stuck? So you gotta heal that hurt you. Even it's people that's older that needs to heal the hurt them at an older age. I talk to 40-year-old, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds that had childhood trauma that need to be healed. So this book, Diamond's Crown Still Shine, gives some tips on how to heal that young hurt you.
And one of the things that you talk about is forgiveness, right? So a lot of people can't move their life forward because they haven't forgiven they haven't, number one, they haven't forgiven themselves because they think it was their fault, but it's not your fault what happened to you as a child, right? You were not in control. So how do people start forgiving themselves or forgiving the situation or people in their lives that, may have caused them trauma to help move their life forward? Because you always talk about forgiveness.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, forgiveness. Forgiveness starts within you. You have to forgive yourself. Just imagine putting someone on your back and running up and down your street with the person on your back. That's how unforgiveness weighs you down. Unforgiveness is deadly. Unforgiveness is deadly because you holding on to some past stuff that you don't have control of. So if you don't forgive it, it's going to cause your body to act right. Unforgiveness affects your body on the inside, your organs, your stress life, your mental, your mind. So you have to literally forgive, and a person don't have to know that you forgive. Kiera, if you did something to me, I don't have to come to you and say, hey, I forgive you for what you did and what you said. Lord, I forgive her for what she did and she said. I can keep on going.
Yeah.
You can keep on going by just forgiving people. Let go and let God. I love the Lord with all my heart. I got to tell you, let go and let God. Forgive those folks. Forgive people still holding on to stuff that people have been dead and gone 30, 40, 50 years ago. And they still holding on to that past, that unforgiveness. You got to forgive. And forgiveness is freeing yourself. Forgiveness is not freeing that other person. It's freeing yourself. So you will be in bondage, forever be in bondage if you don't forgive. That person don't mean because you forgive somebody, you got to be that person friend. Oh, girl, I forgive you. Let's go and get something to eat and let's go. It don't work like that. Forgiveness is forgiving within your heart, your mind, and your body, and it free you. You got to free yourself up. It's up to you to free yourself. I forgive daily. And then if I done anything to anybody, I'd be like, Lord, please forgive me for what I done to somebody else. Because look, I don't want nobody in bondage because of me.
Right.
And then you can pray and keep till you change the mindset. Okay, I really forgive this person. Like I said, the man that sexually assaulted me, I could look at him in his face and say, sir, I forgive you for what you did. And a tear will not roll down my face. I really forgive within. And this is real love, real for real. That, hey, you got to forgive within.
Right. So for a lot of women, I mean, we can say like we can forgive that person, right? And you're saying you can forgive, but how long did it take for you to get there, right? Or do you? Because I was reading, I think it was in the Bible. It was saying like no. It was in what book am I reading? I read like 5 books a day.
Oh, really?
It was Purpose Given Life, yes, by Rick Warren. That's the book I was reading. It was like forgiveness versus trust. You forgive immediately, but trust, you have to rebuild that trust over time, right? With the person's actions and their behaviors. And that's if you choose to keep them in their life, as long you in your life, as long as they're not harming you. But there's a difference between forgiveness and trusting somebody.
Yes. And the thing about it, if that person violated your trust, you got to deal with them a certain way. You can't deal with them the same way. You got to move a little different. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to change your circle up, your circle of people. But yeah, trusting someone. Sometimes you got to keep your distance from certain people, and love them from a distance with a long handle spoon. It got to be very long.
Yes. Now let's get into some business talk, right? Because this is about business over here. We like to talk about business. So what are some successes that you have had in business since you've launched your book?
Well, actually, I sold 175 copies, and I just launched my book on December the 6th of this month. I'm I'm still really just finding my way in business. It's work. It's work. And it's like working around a clock, trying to find out what your next move going to be and make sure your next move is the right move. And just trying to find different avenues to get to the next level.
Right. And everybody next level is completely different, right? And a lot of people, they're going from employee to entrepreneur. And those are two different worlds that people are entering, right? So
Right.
what were some of the challenges that you had becoming an entrepreneur?
Doing research, asking people how to, and everybody that's not willing to help each other, not support each other, and show us the way. So basically, you got to find your own way. And that's what I've been experiencing, finding your own way, because we're not supporting each other. I had someone tell me, when I make it to the top, when I make it to the top, I reach back and get you. And then, this is what people tell you. So basically, you just got to really do research and really try to find your way. The challenge is just hard because you don't know how to, and you got to make sure you're not putting yourself in a situation to lose money. You got to make sure everything you're doing is coming back to you. So it has been very challenging. Like, I want to open up my own sexual assault organization, and I still haven't really found my way there yet. But I do have a plan in progress.
And it takes time. Go ahead.
It takes time, like with book sales, it takes time how to help people get you to promote your book and just trying to really just get the help you need. I'm telling you, finance is really not the issue. The issue is just how to.
Yeah. And a lot of it is mindset, right? And belief that you can do it, right? Because a lot of people, they get into business and then they go inside and they become like the secret business owner, right? And people don't know. And that's why I'm having these promotional interviews so women in business can get more exposure. I became a coach so I can address the problems and the challenges that new business owners are having starting up their companies, right? Yes. So there is support out there. The biggest thing is that we have to get out of our own way. We have to get out of our own ego. And if we see somebody who is out there who is actually becoming successful, in what they're doing, we have to ask for help, right? And we can't just wait. Go ahead.
What do you do when they're not willing to help?
Right. So you have to ask the right people for help. Let's gain clarity on that.
There you go.
Let's gain clarity on that. You have to ask the right people for help. So I'm a coach and I help women in business with life and with business to be able to put together a marketing strategy, to be able to put together a business plan and a plan of action. And I help them do the inner work, because what I found when I was coaching is that a lot of women, they couldn't get to the action steps for their business because they're dealing with a lot of life imbalances and trauma, and they needed healing. So I came up with a program called Equipped to help women build their self-confidence, build their self-esteem, really do that inner work, that inner child work, to gain clarity on their next steps in life. And as we talk about balance, Luana, can you tell us, how do you balance your life being a mom, a wife, a business owner, and a dog mom?
A fur baby mom, right?
Fur baby mom.
Fur baby, that's fur baby. Me, my husband, and my children are adults. So they are everybody very supportive. Everybody here have their own businesses. So everybody is trying. So we help and push one another. Wherever, my daughter is a candle maker. So everybody pull time out and help her make candles. My son, he does trade marketing. We sit down and watch him do his strategies with marketing. My husband is a motivational speaker. We support him and prep him and get him together. Me, I'm a book author, a motivational speaker, and life coach. So when I need everybody, like my son, everybody help set up the table, and we all work, all four of us in this house work together. So my daughter and I, like right before the meeting, she's a cook. She loves to cook. So she assists me in the kitchen and I do the prep, she do the cooking, and we can keep on going. And the fellas, what they say, they don't cook, they just eat. So that's what they do.
Yeah. So I love how you're building, what you're building is an empire and you're building a legacy. So before we get off, because it's almost time to go, before we get off, can you tell? Yeah, I know we'll have to have you back. I love this. I love this. So before we get off, can you tell us where we can get your book, just a little bit about your book and what you're going to be doing moving forward?
Okay. My book, you can find it on my website, www.LawannaKelly.com. The way you spell my name right there, because my name is with a T. The T is silent, but it's Lawanna. And you can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, and plenty other platforms. You can find me, Lawanna Kelly, on all social media. Probably author in front of some of it, but it's Lawanna Kelly on all social media. And my book, like I said, is about a young lady that was hurt and abused as a child, but walking in victory one day and one step at a time. And I share my journey, persevering through failed relationships, single parenting, being a homeowner at the age of 21 and losing it at 32 and losing a vehicle. So this book just shares how to keep going. Just don't stop. In life, we are going through. So we got to keep going. When something falls, we look back. If we can't pick it up, that means keep going. Next, keep going, keep going, keep going. So basically, it shows how I ended up being married in the end, my little fairy tale. And just showing you can love, self-love, self-care, love yourself, and you can find true love, but make sure you just love yourself first.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Lawanna Kelly, author Lawanna Kelly, from coming on, talking about healing past trauma. After this, I'm going to drop her book link on my page. I'm also going to drop her website. So you guys go check her out. Go get her book. If you don't need it, maybe somebody else that you know, another woman needs that healing that we all are needing in this season, right? So Damaged Crown Still Shine is her book. Y'all have a good Saturday, and I will see y'all back tomorrow. Bye. Oh, go ahead. Tell us about the workbook.
The workbook is Fix Your Crown. You can find it on Amazon, eBay, and Barnes & Noble. I'm an author of 2 books.
Okay, perfect. So we'll drop the book and the workbook.
Thank you.
All right. See y'all later. Bye.